Hello and welcome. Yes, we're still in the forest, and for those that are not interested in microforestry or where we've been for the last few weeks, I can only apologise. It's that time of year, it's what I do, it's what I've got to do. So we're going to do something a bit different this morning. So in the last few videos I've shown you what to leave and what not to leave in microforestry, and we've been taking the weak and the damaged and the small and unnecessary in an attempt to try and clear this bit of forestry which hasn't been touched for 40-50 years. It's dense, and it's taken me most of the week just to get the trails cut, and yesterday we had a wind which brought warm weather and I had to stay out of here altogether. And the reason for that being is you try and run your trails and then stay off of them for at least overnight for an extreme cold temperature. What that does is it packs it down and then freezes it solid and gives you a good platform. If you ride those trails when the weather, like yesterday, it was +4 degrees C. I mean, it was summer. You'll just ruin all your trails. You'll just wreck everything. Dig big holes, get stuck, nightmare. Anyway, here we are this morning, and I've run all these trails in, and I've taken out a lot of the small stuff so I can see what I'm looking at. So today, instead of taking the small and the weak and the broken, we're going to take some big stuff. And I'm going to explain why, and then I'm going to show you the benefits of it. So what I do need out of here is I need some big pine, and the homestead here, and its front entrance, the steps are old and rotten and need replacing, and also it doesn't have a cover over the front entrance. There's no porch roof, there's no roof to it at all. So what happens like now, not only do you have to clear the stairs continuously from the snow, but when it melts, it comes down and lands on top of the stairs and blocks the entrance. So this summer we're going to build a small, we'll replace the stairs and build a small porch. And the timber for that has got to come from the forest. So as part of the thinning I'm doing, I'm leaving young, new trees, and I'm leaving old established trees. And in this part, right behind me, which is a very small section, we're going to leave the middle-aged trees, the trees that are there's some big mammals today. I've seen the tracks. So if I get distracted for a moment, it's all in a good cause. Anyway, so we're going to take out some mature trees that we can cut, mark up. How I do it is when I cut, I put the owner's initials on them, stack them in the yard, and then at the beginning of the summer, we're going to put those through the sawmill and machine it all up, and we'll have a project to do. But let me show you what we're doing. So you can kind of see that it's more clear now. This is how we started. Right, just dense forest, and I've made in some trails and we're clearing. Now, I've been deliberating for about 40 minutes over this, because this is our next little section. And here we've got a stand of too many pine, and maybe one or too many birch. But we've only got 2 species of trees in this area, and ideally we want at least 3. So what we're going to do is, instead of taking out the little ones today, we're going to take this big mature pine there. Right, she's standing at about 50-60 years. The next big one over there, that one. And then we're going to take this birch here that's split. And we're going to take this old birch there. And the reason we're going to take the old birch is because right behind it is a perfect specimen of such a birch. This is the one we're going to take. She's a bit wiry, but behind it, see this one? This is one of the tallest and oldest birches here, and this will be an aerial marker, so we don't want to take that. And we've got this one, which is ideal for nesting, but there's no nests in it, and there's no leaves on it, and there's no birds here yet. So we're going to take this one, and then this one, and then that one. And that will leave me 4 small pine in there, what I call middle-aged, 25 years, and we're going to take 2, and we're going to try our best not to hit this small one with anything. And that'll clear that, and you can see the kind of shadow that it's casting over there, and that'll open that up. So you can see I've started working my way through this, and we can see light Whereas before, here's a classic example of where I haven't been yet. But this is the section I'm working on today. So I'm going to take some big pine. In addition to that, over here, when the moose take the tops out, that one's not been done, it stunts the trees. See that? It's got a split top. It's just going to get thicker. Well, here is a classic example. That one up there is not only split badly at the top, it's dead. Right, but look at the size of it. Look at the girth of that. That's this one here. So we're going to take that one out and we're going to leave this one. And that will give us a starting of our pine that we need to do our project. And we've got the birch are like weeds here. I've got to thin that, but we're not working on that right now. We're working on this group here. You can see I've cut out a lot of the small stuff, leaving the really nice ones. Right, you've got to pray. This tiny little one here, right, it's perfect. It hasn't had the top taken out. That'll grow into a big strong tree. So all the ones that are damaged, that have had the top snipped out by the moose, I just cut out, because they're going to end up like that one there and the top. And it's like all plants, when you nip out the top, it sends out lots of other side shoots to try and compensate. It doesn't bode well for a good tall leading tree. Anyway, you see no gloves? Now my hands are cold because it's -6 or -7 at the moment, but it's going to warm up to -1 today, so you know we're out here early to get as much done as we can before it gets too warm. So how do I think I done there? Well, in all the videos we've done with me felling trees, that's the first time we've seen a hookup. It's kind of interesting because me and Thomas were having coffee yesterday discussing this exact same thing, which is how this part of the forest got the way it is with all the spruce tangled in. He's not happy dealing with them. He doesn't want to deal with them. He can't deal with them. He doesn't have the knowledge to be able to unhook them. Well, that first big one I got, I tried to steer away from the smaller one, but it was so entangled. Clearly it was hooked up, and we had to take them both down and then land them. Not ideal, but not unexpected, and it's going to get worse when I get into the thicker stuff of exactly that kind of scenario. Other than that, it went to plan. There's them big holes I was telling you about. Right. Whew. Okay, so that's the back one down. the bottom one of those two large ones is the one we wanted. It got tangled up there. I had to take out that second birch, which was not a problem. It had to come down anyway. I just wasn't ready to take it down. The most important thing is we maintained that one. So there was two there next to each other, and this front one was always going to stay up. Anyway, look at the sunlight. Just those were turned out to be three, a small one. There we go. And that has completely changed that. Now we've got to pick, well, you know, there'll be some people screaming at me about now, going, no, you should take two and leave one. Yeah. Well, maybe I should. I just don't. I don't know. I'd like to take out the middle, but no, I've got to take. I have to take two of those because, again, they're all too close together. As long as I've maintained this one, and you see we've got younger growth there, so we're at, let's say, 30 years, 20 years, 8 years, and then Mother Birch in the middle. She's got room to breathe now and chuck out more good seeds. But yeah, I don't know if it translates on camera or not to how much that. One wonky old birch and a couple of fir, and it just, there you go. Now once I've decided what I'm doing here, I'm not going to touch this, it's done. Leave all the little ones. You've got to leave your next generation. Those two birch there have obviously got to come out. I don't know why I left them there really, because we've got a nice big strong one there. But right, we'll get these cut up, loaded up. And we'll cut these into lengths. We'll decide what lengths we want to cut them in, and then get them on the sled, get them into the yard, mark them up, chop this other up for firewood, and go from there. Okay, so we've got a bed on the sled now. Bed on the sled. A poet and didn't know it. Right, so what I want to do is get a lot of this top stuff out of the way, the tops of the spruce and stuff, and get it out to a big pile I've got outside. Now I'm leaving some on the forest floor, but like all this stuff over here, these are the tops. I'm going to use the flatbed, load this up, haul it out to a spot I've got, and then come back and carry on loading. You can see I'm cut up into 3 and 4 metre lengths depending on what I need. The sun coming through here now. Now there's no shadow. Amazing. Perfect. So I believe in leaving a set amount on the floor to feed the trees. That's how the land got fertile in the first place. Well, actually it was a deposit from a glacier, but anyway, gloss over that. So what I didn't tell you was 60 or 70 years ago, this was all pasture land for cows. 70 years ago. Yeah, 70 years ago. Right. Okay, let's get loading up. So what have we got out of this so far? Well, there's a nasty gnarly bit of firewood there. Those two there, these two birch, they're for the sawmill. They're firewood, and all the pine is all for the sawmill. There's spruce. And we've still got some big bits of spruce lying down over there. And then we've got this large girth, short spruce there to take down. And I think we're almost where we need to be. I need newel posts. Yeah, I might have to search out a couple of nice trees for newel posts, although that might make 2 newel posts. Anyway, there we go. Let's go and get rid of this. There you go. That's that area. So this is another bit of pine, and I've got 2 smaller bits there that I'm turning into posts. Bit of firewood. So you won't get a lot of firewood out of doing this. Not the first time, because it hasn't been done for so long. And I haven't shown me lifting the logs, because my mother told me that whilst she understands I'm only lifting one end at a time, it makes her wince, because obviously I had a disc removed, well, not even a year ago yet, through doing, you know, man's work. Anyway, so I've done a bit of trimming there and a bit of cleaning there. Right, I've got to decide what I'm doing there, but you can see now I'm pretty sure I'm not going to touch anything else there this year. I've got to decide what I'm doing here in this little bit. So that's pretty much up to the boundary at the bottom of the mountain in this arc. Now I've got to go through here. I need that there to look like that. And whilst I only left 2 standing there, I left more elsewhere that I was going to take down. I'll just leave it for a few years and see what it looks like. But there might be a couple of little ones in there that I could take out. So that's opened it up as far as I'm concerned. I can see the sun hitting the ground almost everywhere, and that'll encourage new growth. I have. Right. There was where the tree come down wedged between 2. I've left this one. Unfortunately, it's hooked up with that other one. I've tried to straighten it. I'm going to have to do is put a strap on it and pull it back and hold it back. I'll take the strap off next autumn, and that'll get it to grow up straight, because that's a nice tree, that is. We leave that one. We can take this one here 5, 6 years, and this one 3 or 4 years after that. It's about that multi-step generation thing on a micro scale. Yeah, I might have that little gaggle of 3 there. I might take that bendy one out. But now we're going to be working on this. And you can see I've started thinning. There's a bit of daylight through there. Well, thanks for joining me today. I'm going to call the video there. It's starting to look really good. Not that you can see it there, but if we turn that way, we've opened it up enough on this side for sure. And we have a little bit more to do here, and then we have some spruce to get out. And then I think it's almost time for the really big stuff up on the hill, the ones that we tagged a week or 2 ago. So if you like the content, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Really helps me out. Consider subscribing if you're not already. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.